This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 504, How I Prepared to Quit My 9-to-5 to Do What I Love and Travel the World Whenever I Want, by Sarah Peterson with MakingSenseOfSense.com. And I am Dan, your host and narrator here. I'm here every single day, and I thank you for being here with me. And I'm going to jump right into our post now as we optimize your life. How I Prepared to Quit My 9-to-5 to Do What I Love and Travel the World Whenever I Want, by Sarah Peterson with MakingSenseOfSense.com. When I was 18, I remember thinking that if I could only make $15 an hour, I'd be set. At the time, I had just started my first year of college and was working full-time to pay for it. I was making $12 an hour all in, including commission, my hourly wage, and bonuses. And between tuition and rent and living expenses, I was living paycheck to paycheck. Little did I know that 8 years later, I would be making quadruple that which I was making at 18, and that I would be willingly leaving a job that not only paid far more than $15 an hour, but also came equipped with a lucrative pension plan, amazing health insurance, and an office I couldn't have even imagined in my retail job. If you had told me that I would have not only the funds, but the freedom to travel, I'd have thought you were nuts. But in February 2015, the day after my 26th birthday and my last day of work, I got on a plane with a one-way ticket to Europe and went to go explore a little bit of the world before returning home to pursue meaningful work that I love. I'm not special or rich or have any unusual advantages. I think that with a little bit of planning, you can do this too. Yes, even if you have a mortgage, even if you have bills to pay, even if you have responsibilities. I have all of those things, but I was still able to do this. Here are 4 steps that I took to prepare for the journey. 1. I ramped up my side income. Michelle talks a lot about side income and earning extra money, and I completely understand why. Earning a side income is easily one of the most practical ways to find financial and career freedom. I started making money on the side 4 years ago with my blog, but because I had a rock-solid career, I didn't think I needed to earn more. In the middle of 2014, however, I began to become dissatisfied with the traditional career trajectory that we're all supposed to take. I wanted to travel, and traveling in 3 weeks of vacation time each year seemed ridiculous to me. I had started another side business, this time an Etsy shop, which began to earn money right away, and between that and my other online income streams, I had ramped up my side income to the point where I could almost outpace my day job income. Think you can't do this because you don't have a side income? I disagree. Finding side income isn't difficult. Stop and think about it. What is one thing you could do right now to earn you $100? I'd bet that you, and most people reading this, can think of that one thing, and it probably wouldn't take you that long. If you could earn $100, what is stopping you from replicating that and earning even more? 2. I held on to more of my money. You could earn thousands of dollars extra each month, but that will get you nowhere if you're just spending those dollars. When I decided I wanted to quit my job and travel, I also accepted that I needed to make a few sacrifices to do so. I didn't do a ramen famine, but I was more careful with my spending. My husband and I ate at home more often and had friends over instead of going out. We began to carpool to and from work and negotiated some of our bills down. I have a mortgage, so I knew that when I went away, the mortgage wouldn't go away with me. I couldn't do anything about that bill right away, so we found other areas to cut back instead. Our savings rate increased, and we held on to more of our money. 3. I built a backup plan. I'm very fortunate in that I haven't needed the backup plan, far from it, but it was still a very important aspect of my financial quit plan to have a plan B. No matter how brave entrepreneurs seem when they go to quit their day jobs, make no mistake, we're all shaking in our boots at the thought of leaving a stable income for work we love. I had dreams about all of my side business income sources drying up like a watering hole in the desert at the same time, and my husband losing his job or ending up in some hostage situation in Europe that happened to drain our savings. Okay, I didn't say they were realistic dreams. Something that really put my mind at ease, however, was having a backup plan. I always knew that the worst that could happen was that I would have to get another job in my professional field of work. So I made a backup plan of how I would go about doing that, which put my mind at ease. And 4, I set myself up for the future. When I decided to quit my job, I knew that I would want to travel more extensively when I returned from my trip, and I knew I wanted more flexibility in my work than what my 9-to-5 allowed. To prepare for this career shift, I began to build a business that would allow me to sustain a lifestyle as a digital nomad while also doing work that I loved. I threw myself into building Unsettle, just as I threw myself into building a career by pursuing my degree and putting in long hours at the office. I could have come back from my trip and found another job, but the point was not only to travel. After all, the trip only ended up being about 6 weeks in length. The point was to take my career into my own hands, empowering myself to work when, where, and on what I want, and maintain a lifestyle of freedom. I could have continued growing my side businesses, but I do believe that diversifying your income is important, and my side businesses were best left as just that, side businesses. The beautiful thing about the internet is that it empowers everyone with access to it to pursue what they love, even if it takes you a little longer than it took me. Even if you have to burn the midnight oil building something on the side while you work your day job. Even if you're in a position right now where you're living paycheck to paycheck, paying your way through school and dreaming of $15 an hour. If you start something, if you take action, you absolutely can do what you love. You just listened to the post titled, How I Prepared to Quit My 9-to-5 to Do What I Love and Travel the World Whenever I Want, by Sarah Peterson with MakingSenseOfSense.com. I just learned about an unbelievable hack that I couldn't wait to tell you about. It's a fintech company called Masterworks. They give you access to one of the most exclusive investments in history, blue chip art. Not many people realize that blue chip art prices outpaced the S&P 500 by 164% from 1995 to 2021. But not everyone has millions to buy a Picasso, and that's why Masterworks is amazing. They let regular people like you and me invest in works by legends like Banksy, Basquiat, and Warhol. Here's how it works. Masterworks analyzed millions of data points to find quality paintings. After they go out and buy them, you can purchase shares representing an investment in those artworks on their platform. With over 330,000 users, demand is high, but you can get priority access with my special link. Just head to masterworks.art/OSD. That's masterworks.art/OSD. See important disclosures at masterworks.io/disclosures. And thanks to Sarah, she is the author of Untitled.org, where she helps people stop settling for okay lives and careers. And thank you to Michelle, who created Making Sense of Sense to keep track of her financial progress, help readers improve their finances, and help her own personal finances. And just one example of that, due to this, she was able to pay off $38,000 in student loans in 7 months. She lived in an RV touring North America and now actually lives on a sailboat. She and her husband sold their house and became full-time travelers. And like many of the authors on our shows, she went from being heavily in debt to financially free and documents the journey on her blog. She publishes monthly income updates and shares how she earns over $100,000 a month online. She's pretty open about it, so you can check all of that out. And again, her site is MakingSenseOfSense.com, a little play on words there. And that does it for me today. Thanks for being here for episode 504. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back here with you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.